Extended hiatus means would lead people to believe that we think that we're going to come back. We're breaking up. We're not going on an extended hiatus. We just feel like, and this is a really weird thing to say, but like we really still do love what we do. We don't love it any less. We don't love making records any less. We don't love being on stage any less. And that's the hard part, is that you're making a choice to stop doing something that you love, which sounds insane to people. But really what it's about is realizing that, say if you're a painter, you don't just paint until you run out of paint. You don't just paint until your arm falls off. You make a decision that at some point in time you made the final brushstroke. Or if you make a movie, you don't just film until you run out of film or hard drive space. You make a decision artistically to say, even if I'm having the best time ever making this movie, this is the end. So in the last few years, we started to reach what felt like a thematic conclusion to our band, particularly Ben and I, where we realized that in our lives, psychologically, we were reaching this sort of a resolve, and that we had used our relationship with one another and our artistic outlet together in Dillinger Escape Plan to kind of work through a lot of things as people and as a couple of people on Earth. And we started to reach this resolve and a thematic resolve, and it started to show itself in our music and in our lyrics. And I think we both just started to realize, like, hey, if we're ever going to draw a line and say that this is over, this seems like a good time. And when we started talking about it, and the fear aspect of it went away, because right away there's this gut feeling of, oh shit, my safety net is being taken away. Once you got over that fear, I think we started to realize that this feels like a very empowering move to be able to say, hey, now you can look at the Dillinger Escape Plan as a body, as an artistic body, not just on an album by album basis, but you can look at the whole band artistically and say, this is what this was. And it had a beginning and it had an end, and they did close the circle, and it is this thing that you can look at as a whole instead of it. I don't like TV shows that go on and on and on until the ratings die. I like a movie where someone says that, hey, this had an end and I made it, and that's the end of it. I don't need to do another one. I don't want to see Pirates of the Caribbean 7, And I feel like once we started to wrap our brains around that, we started to feel really confident about it. It feels correct. That's all I can say about it.